for Barbie. Turn around. Score! We're tied at 80. He forces up the alley-oop pass. No good. Rebound batted around. Herndon's got it. That's it. Game is over. UMass is going to Madison Square Garden.
The rematch, Siena versus UMass, coming up next. You're looking at the Curry-Hicks cage on the campus of the University of Massachusetts at Amherst, where the students, after a hard night of hitting the books, are ready for some hoops. Yes, it's Midnight Madness, the Siena Saints and the Minutemen of the University of Massachusetts. And good evening once again, everyone. I'm Tom Mees. We'll join Dan, Patrick, and Clark Kellogg from Amherst in just a moment. But the NIT continued earlier this evening on ESPN. 2 of the 3 games played tonight were seen on ESPN. Kentucky goes down hard, goes down at home. Pitt, the upset winner, 85-67. Colorado State goes to Atlanta, but Georgia Tech was a bit too much, 84-67. And Princeton journeyed to Austin, Texas, kept it close at the half, but in the end, Texas wins it. Tommy Pender's team wins by 11 points. Now we're all set in just a moment to take you to Amherst, Massachusetts, the Atlantic 10 preseason favorites, Massachusetts and the Saints of Siena. The fans are ready. We'll be going to Amherst in a moment.
Have a ball with the new Budweiser and Coors.
Night Madness. We're on the campus of the University of Massachusetts. The Curry-Hicks cage. The Siena Saints visiting the UMass Minutemen. This place seats about 4,000 fans. Let's hope the fire marshal doesn't stop in tonight. Good evening. I'm Dan Patrick, and joining me, the former Ohio State great Clark Kellogg. Your indoctrination to Midnight Madness, you better be ready.
Oh, I'm ready to go, Dan. I want a uniform on.
You got 2 teams coming in here. Went to the NIT last year. UMass with a lot of experience. Jim McCoy, their all-time leading scorer, back for his senior year. Siena comes in, a lot of question marks. They're banged up, but they got one kid who may be able to keep them into the game single-handedly.
You talk about their youth, and they are a young team, but Mike Dean has a lot of confidence in his sophomore point guard, Doremus Venerman. He is a scoring point guard, but more important than the points he can put on the board tonight is going to be his poise in this raucous atmosphere.
Now, University of Massachusetts, as I mentioned, a lot of experience. They have 5 starters back, including McCoy, including Barbie. Tony Barbie may be the best all-around player in the Atlantic 10. But what's the next step for John Calipari's team to make it to the top 25?
Any basketball team at this level or the pro level must have bench performers. They need impact players on their bench. 2 guys that are going to have to step it up for UMass are freshman players. A penetrating, slashing point guard, Mike Williams, and a dominant paint player in Lou Rowe. They must make impacts for UMass to be a top 30 team.
All right, Mike Dean, the coach of the Siena Saints, has already told us. In fact, he even handed out the game plan to us prior to the game. He said, we don't need it. Just don't tell Coach Calipari what we're going to do. We're back from the opening tip-off. Midnight Madness, ESPN. UMass Minutemen and the Siena Saints coming up. Did anybody say anything about studying? Not on the campus of the University of Massachusetts tonight at the Curry-Hicks cage. A packed house once again. Starting lineup for the Siena Saints, the visiting Saints, who went 25-10 last year under Coach Mike Dean. They're led by Bruce Schroeder. He's their best player. This team, as we mentioned, a couple of injuries, trying to make up for the loss of Mike Brown, who has back surgery coming up next week. He's going to be out. He's their best 3-point shooter. As for Coach Dean, a charismatic Coach Mike Dean, before the game talking to Clark and myself and giving us this sob story saying, I just hope they take it easy on us tonight. As for the Minutemen, 20-13 last year, a balanced lineup, and Jim McCoy, the school's all-time leading scorer, coming back for his senior season. As for John Calipari, the head coach, really turned this program around. A dynamic, energizing type guy, been compared to Rick Pitino. Great recruiter, but he said sometimes you get an unfair label of being a great recruiter and not a great coach. We showed you the last meeting between these two, a dramatic finish, UMass winning it in the quarterfinals of the NIT on Tony Barbie's three-pointer to send it into overtime. We're ready for the tip-off, and we'll jump it up again. UMass in the home white, Siena in the green and gold. Will Herndon controls the tap to Anton Brown. Brown won't do much offensively, but he doesn't beat you when it comes to mistakes. Will Herndon with the rebound, back out to McCoy, over to Brown. And Siena back in their matchup zone. This is McCoy, the all-time leading scorer. When we talked to Mike Dean prior to the game, he said they were going to try to do something defensively, try to shake them up. Harper Williams with the miss, brought down by Bruce Schroeder. That's Bennerman. Tony Barbie. Schroeder with another rebound. Siena has a distinct height disadvantage.
Well, they're going to try to counteract that height disadvantage by getting some early post-up opportunities or some early three-point shots. And that's an example of an early post-up there by Lee Matthews.
Matthews with the miss, Barbie with the rebound. Played a minute and a half, still looking for our first points. And a great defense on Jim McCoy. And it's going to be the Saints basketball.
Boy, that's just excellent work by Stuart Downing, the freshman. I talked to him prior to the game about facing up and squaring off with Jim McCoy. He said he's going to be physical with him and try to stay right in his chest, and he did it on that possession.
Downing with the basketball, drafted by the Reds.
You know, you talk about Siena lacking size, but both Downing and Schroeder, very physical players despite being only 6'2" and 6'3" respectively.
Matthews inside. The block by Williams. He led the Atlantic 10 in blocks last year. Anton Brown, Will Herndon. Matthews got a piece of it, and Herndon will go to the line to shoot two.
Here we'll take a look at it. The penetration by Anton Brown, actually just pushing the ball ahead. Herndon inside, denied by Matthews, but Matthews got him with the body. You'd expect both teams, this being their first regular season game, the electricity and energy they feel from the fans. It's going to take them a moment or two just to settle down and get into their normal RPM, so to speak.
Siena coach Mike Dean called this the biggest game of the year, the most important one, because he says UMass has more talent than anybody they'll face this year, except for maybe Stanford.
Little full court pressure here from UMass. They want to force someone else other than Daramus Bennerman to bring the ball up the court.
They're going to call the block and count the basket on Schroeder.
What do you think about that, Dan? A little continuation?
That looked like NBA action.
It certainly did. Schroeder, you know, talking to him prior to the game, he said his greatest asset as a player is his strength. He loves to bang bodies when he goes inside, and I tell you what, I can't see who that was that took the bump, but seems like he was in pretty good position.
Looked like Anton Brown taking what he thought was a charge. Schroeder completes the three-point play.
When you think about Siena's youth and the atmosphere here, very important for them to get off to just the start they've gotten off to.
Siena playing some inspired defense on the boards there. Massachusetts has the height advantage, but
boy, nice look here by Barbie to Harper Williams, and then McCoy. Boy, he got bumped, no call there. Matthews lucky he didn't pick up number 2.
McCoy. call foul inside. Andy Shorkey. Shorkey will check out. Coming in is Matt Grass. Shorkey sits down. 6'9" sophomore. His first start of his career. Will Herndon. Herndon will go to the line again to shoot two. We've played nearly 3 minutes. A total of 5 points.
Siena foul on number 50, Matt Grass. His first. He's the third on the team.
Matt Grass picked up that foul. One of the young big freshmen that Mike Dean recruited, Jason McKinney the other, gives Dean 2 6'10" players for the first time since he's been at Siena. So that will dictate maybe during the course of the season a change in style, although Siena prides itself on being a good perimeter shooting team.
Herndon's hit all 4 free throws.
This might be a tough matchup here for Tony Barbee defending the Raymond Benjamin.
Right on cue, Clark.
I'd call that tough, little shake and bake, and Barbie was stuck.
Barbie answers with a 3 of his own. After a rough 3 minutes, they seem to be settling down into the type of offense they want to play for both squads.
Well, you get your second win, you know your adrenaline is flowing, you're excited, the energy level is high, and it takes you a couple of minutes to settle down and idle down.
Anton Brown for 3. Brown can hit the 3, but he doesn't take it that often.
Well, UMass not known as a three-point shooting team, but we talked to John Calipari. He said he'd like to see his team take 15 of those shots a game compared to the 7 per game they averaged in three-point attempts a year ago. Key possession here. The crowd is in it. Good job here by Siena to display some patience. And they need to make sure one of their better shooters gets a shot at the basket. Probably Schroeder, or maybe Bennerman, maybe Lee Matthews inside.
Siena's game plan was to milk that shot clock. It's going to be Siena's basketball.
An official timeout has been called.
But Mike Dean's club taking it down to 1 second on the shot clock. We'll be back at Siena's basketball. Siena down by 4 on Midnight Madness.
The power of intelligent engineering is routinely put to the test at Oldsmobile. And here's the result. Of all the Cutlass Sierras ever sold in the last 10 years, we can say 96% are still on the road. Safely say. Oldsmobile, the power of intelligent engineering.
Available now for $12,695 with Air and V6 engine.
Honey, should we call a plumber?
No, I don't think so. At Pro Hardware, we understand what getting in over your head can be like. We know that finding help for household projects can be confusing, frustrating, time-consuming. So when you need to know, ask a pro.
I see. Ta-da!
What a pro.
And on sale now are these brand name products. Irwin Company's Marathon Saw Blade and Skill's 3/8-inch corded drill. Ask a pro.
Supreme pizza is just $8.99, and any other pizza is $4 more.
You can choose the meat lovers, cheese lovers, plus pepperoni lovers, or mushroom pepperoni, onions pepperoni, even another Supreme.
The new Pizza Hut Supreme $4 deal. Now get any medium pizza for $4 when you buy a Supreme for just $8.99. Call now.
The Allstate agent who helps insure your car can give you a hand with a plan for life insurance. Life insurance. Your Allstate agent wants to be your agent for life. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Siena's basketball. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Stuart Downing throws it in. Matthews with the rebound. Back into Matthews.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's excellent inside-outside action. by Matthews and Brent Bennerman.
Siena still trying to confuse them with different defense. And this is the guy they got to worry about. Schroeder with a block on McCoy. Matthews with a rebound, and they're going to whistle Harper Williams for the foul.
Because Siena is not very big, although Grass is out there at 6'10", Lee Matthews has led the club in rebounds the last 2 years. They need a big game from him on both backboards.
Schroeder expected to be their leading scorer this year, yet to get off a shot. Getting tied up. I'm sure Mike Dean does not want him handling the ball out that far. Schroeder gets stripped by Anton Brown. Anton Brown, not known for his scoring, already has 5 of the 12 UMass points. The turnover. And the Minutemen on the march again.
Look to primarily stay in the sloughing zone defense. Not afraid of UMass shooting the 3.
Tough shot by Williams. Lewis Rowe with the rebound and the putback.
We talked about Mr. Rowe at the top.
Williams got a piece of it. A 5-on-2. 16-8.
A couple of empty possessions by Siena have led to some easy opportunities for the Minutemen. And now the crowd in it even more so.
Mike Williams checking in for Anton Brown. Will Herndon, those may be the longest shorts in college basketball.
Well, you know who started all this mess with the baggy shorts? Number 23 in the red and black from the Chicago Bulls. And you know how college kids can be. They'll take it to the extreme. And Will Herndon, I reminded him before the game that his T-shirt better be pretty long, too, to make sure that he adheres to NCAA rules.
UMass has been great off the break. With 5 turnovers by Siena, they've turned him into 10 points. Can't come up with the basket, and the Minutemen on the march again. Barbie. Mike Williams is a freshman out of Bridgeport, Connecticut, and John Calipari loves it. He's the kind of guy you turn an offense over to, he said, and just let him explore.
He's got great quickness and penetrating ability. Bennerman with the miss. Mike Dean doesn't mind that type of shot.
Tony Barbie. Harper Williams the putback and the foul.
You take a look at Stuart Downing, who committed the foul. He's going to get a blow. He just signaled to Mike Dean that I need some oxygen.
Brian Bidlingmeyer is going to check in, along with Mike McGee for the Saints. They expect to play 8 or 9 guys.
Well, it's basically a roll of the dice for Mike Dean in that he's got some untested, unknown entities. There's one, Stuart Downing, a freshman. Bidlingmeyer, also a freshman.
Bruce Schroeder also sits down with Downing. Harper Williams, a 6'7" junior, led the team in block shots. Andrew Brazoulis getting one of the easy hoops for the Saints. They've had to work for most of them tonight, down by 7. Played nearly 8 minutes. Lewis Rowe back up again.
We talked about him at the outset being a warrior in the paint.
Mike Williams with the steal and the foul. Lewis Rowe is considered the most highly sought-after recruit Calipari has ever brought in here.
Well, you can see why. Anybody that eats glass like this endears himself to any coach. Look at Rowe carve out space as Matthews mistimed the jump. And then the quick finish. They've been working with Lou Rowe on exploding to the hoop when he catches it in the paint. And he's learned his lesson in a short time.
Jim McCoy forces it. Razulis with the rebound.
Razulis, an emotional spark. He's come in, he's gotten a good shot, didn't get it down, ran the floor and got one, and then got a defensive board.
Bennerman with a tough shot, can't get it to stay, and Lewis Rowe with another rebound. Barbie for three.
Tony Barbie is just rock solid. He's going to look for the three-point shot a lot more this season because he has that kind of range.
Siena down by 12. They're going to get Mike Williams for the push-off on Kareemus Bennerman. Jim McCoy sits down, and Anton Brown checks back in.
His first personal, third on the team.
11:34 to play in the first half. Siena in trouble already.
Sony compact disc players. Your ears will tell you. It's not only what you play, it's what you play it on.
It isn't the night or even the fog that gets you. It's when the team leader puts you in charge for the first time. And you decide to drop right inside Alpha Team's backyard. That's when you find out how good you really are.
It didn't happen in Germany, nor in Japan. It happened right here. An all-new car, born of intelligent engineering. The Oldsmobile 88 Royale. You've seen it, now come drive it. Oldsmobile, the power of intelligent engineering.
Now, get 2.9% APR financing for up to 48 months.
College football coming up Saturday afternoon on ESPN, a doubleheader. West Virginia at Syracuse. And then the #1 Hurricanes of Miami will be at Boston College.
Well, the Saints from Siena have had a few too many consecutive dry possessions. They're in dire need of a hoop here.
Matthews, McGee, Bennerman, Bidlingmeyer, and Razulis for the Saints. Herndon, Williams, Anton Brown, Tony Barbie, and Mike Williams for UMass. This is McGee, the sophomore out of Texarkana, can't get it to drop. They've had a couple of those shots, Clark.
They really have gotten some decent shots, just haven't gotten the result. UMass, almost impossible for Siena to play inside.
Harper Williams, and they're going to call goaltending on Lee Matthews. Bruce Schroeder checks back in.
Deep post position by Harper Williams. Matthews gets there just a fraction late. You love the effort, but I'm not sure if that ball wasn't on its way up.
When did you know anything about defense?
I did it all. I was one of those all-around guys. Eat some glass, make some great moves, score, rebound, defend. Had a versatile game.
Bruce Schroeder fouled by Mike Williams before we were so rudely interrupted with Clark's former days as a college great at Ohio State.
Well, there was some NBA action in there too now, Dan.
They've let him play. All right, I forgot. The Pacers. He reminded me all day. He brought out the scrapbook.
Don't do me that way, Dan.
UMass by 14. Strong drive by Stewart Downing. They're going to call the charge. Tony Barbie takes the charge. His coach said Barbie doesn't do anything great. He does everything good. If you need shooting, he'll do it. You need defense, he'll do it. And he's a guy who has been battling a couple of hard luck seasons. He had a virus one year, missed a couple of games. He had mononucleosis last year, missed a couple of games. He says he's healthy, but he kept telling everybody, don't breathe on me today at practice.
He's comparable to a balanced mutual fund in that he gives you some stocks, long-term, short-term. He'll give you some bonds. He's always going to be steady and consistent, even amidst turmoil. And a player like that is invaluable.
You get the Wall Street Journal from Clark and also Phillips. Harper Williams inside before the shot. They're going to call Grazoulis with his foul. 6 turnovers for the Saints right now, and they have been costly because UMass has turned it into 10 points so far. John Calipari said he felt bad. Midnight Madness. It's his daughter's birthday. He said, don't make me out to be a bad guy. But his 2-year-old daughter couldn't come to the game tonight. Williams hits the first. 4 points on the night. 6'7" junior. They're getting the rolls, but Siena isn't.
This is where Siena really misses a guy like Mike Brown because of his three-point shooting ability.
Grazoulis threw it away. As we mentioned from the outset, Mike Brown, their best three-point shooter, hurt his back, will have back surgery next week, a herniated disc. They're going to redshirt him, a senior, and Coach Dean is expecting a lot out of him. And it's tough to fill the void with a lot of inexperienced ball players. Unlike last year, when they had a talented, experienced team that won 25 ball games.
There's no way to get experience until you play for a little bit.
Williams kept it alive, and Herndon follows it up.
Well, the Saints have been parked on 10 for what seems like an eternity.
Williams with the block. Schroeder gets the hoop, gets the foul, fouled by Barbie. Siena cannot stay with UMass on the boards.
That was a major concern of Mike Dean's coming into the game. They had to keep UMass off the glass. Great denial here by Harper Williams on the Lee Matthews attempt. Schroeder just scraps and fights and finally gets it to the rack, and Barbie picked up the foul.
Matthews and Williams played on a touring team that went to Europe last year, so they know each other's games fairly well. Schroeder completes the three-point play. But his Saints still down by 15 inside 10 minutes to go to the campus of the University of Massachusetts. Midnight Madness, and right now all it's doing is driving the Siena Saints mad. McCoy still yet to check into the scoring column. Bennerman for 3. Anton Brown.
Oh, nice double.
Williams doubled up by Matthews and Grazoulis. Doremus Bennerman missing the 3 at the other end. Mike Dean standing in front of us saying, Doremus, keep shooting.
Oh, he wants that shot. Early offense is a key to Siena's attack.
Harper Williams with a great pass. Willie Herndon. We talk about his shot blocking ability. He scored tonight and also passing.
This is beautiful high-low action. Williams double team to the cutting Herndon. And I don't know if there's a better 6'3" finisher anywhere in the country than William Herndon. When he gets it in there, he goes strong to the rack. He's able to finish even if he's bumped.
Will Herndon to the line for the minute man.
Herndon has 10 points already. He had a big game against Siena last year in the NIT.
He did. He went for 20 points and 15 caroms. That's major at any level.
18-point lead by the Minutemen. You see the run that the Minutemen have made, dominating the last 7 minutes. Now inside on Harper Williams. Sorry, Clark.
When you're an experienced team, as UMass is, and you've got balance, you've got scorers at every position, you've got athletes that can play inside, you're able to put together those kind of runs. 12-2, 21-10, 21-5 runs, and that's what UMass has done by virtue of their activity at the defensive end and turning turnovers into points.
Tony Barbie checks back in.
Barbie from North Central High School in Indianapolis, where I reside now. I had a chance to watch him throughout high school. Just continues to get better. Great attitude, good worker.
A couple of substitutions, Andy Shorkey and Joe Middleton. Grazoulis. And Stuart Downing checking onto the bench for Mike Dean's club. They're still down by 17. Brown doesn't make too many mistakes. He's not flashy, but Coach Calipari said that he does some good things. He doesn't really hurt you.
Just rock solid.
We'll see a couple other scores from tonight's action. Schroeder is stripped. McCoy still yet to check into the scoring column. Their all-time leading scorer, Middleton. Matthews tried to tip it back in and brought down by Scott Drapo, a freshman.
You know, you look at Siena, and they're getting pretty decent shots when they don't turn it over. They just need to get a couple to fall for.
Middleton with the turnover. McCoy is so hungry to get a shot off.
Well, he has to exercise some patience. He knows he's going to be keyed on just by everybody they play, so he has to get his shots within the flow.
Maybe that's the scary part of this game. They lead by 17, and their all-time leading scorer has yet to score.
Your home is where you live. That's why your home demands the grace and beauty of fine furniture from Holidays Home Furnishings. Now's the time to enhance your home with a new living room set from Stratford. Or why not make every meal special with a distinctive dining room set from Pennsylvania House? Add warmth to any room in your house with quality, long-lasting carpeting from Lee's Carpets. Come into Holidays Home Furnishings and have our knowledgeable staff show you how to make your home a more comfortable place to live. Holidays Home Furnishings, 320 South 5th.
The energy saved by recycling.
The big game is here. College football on ESPN. It's bad. National title contender Miami storms Boston College, and the missile Cadre Ismail leads Syracuse against West Virginia. The beasts from the East make it a jungle out there. Saturday beginning at 4 Eastern, live on ESPN.
You're looking at the all-time leading scorer here at the University of Massachusetts, a school that gave the NBA and ABA Julius Erving. McCoy has struggled, though. He does not do well in season openers, averaging only 8 points per game over his last 3 years in season openers.
0 of 6 so far tonight, but UMass still plus 17, and that further testifies to the balance of this ball club.
Will Herndon with the foul.
Now, some people watching may think I'm a little crazy, but Siena is not out of this game, folks. Both teams are over the limit, so free throw shooting becomes important. They knock down a couple of threes, get a few stops. And that's what's so great about the three, even though I would like the line to be back to international distance, another foot or so. Nonetheless, it gives a team that's a good three-point shooting team an opportunity to immediately get back into the game.
Schroeder with 4 points. Shorkey sits down. Grass checks back in. Siena is a very good free throw shooting team. They are usually in the top 20 every year. Right now, they need more than free throws. Mike Williams checking in for UMass. Harvey sits down. Harper Williams back in. Anton Brown will sit down. Both coaches trying to send in fresh recruits. Unfortunately for Siena, they do not have the depth that UMass does.
They really don't. This guy with the ball, Ramus Benjamin, probably will go the distance. They don't have anybody that can really replace him at the point guard spot. Another reason that they'll miss Mike Brown so much.
Schroeder's jersey is soaking wet. I think he's the one guy who really looks like he's fatigued out here. And he's one of the better athletes on their Siena squad. But he is drenched. Middleton draws a little bit of iron. It's going to be off Lou Rowe. Schroeder inside. He's only 6'3". Rowe at the other end.
Oh, nice flash into the post by Williams. Harper Williams, that is.
Rowe with the miss. The follow-up.
Well, I really like Lou Rowe.
He just goes after the basketball.
Exactly. And if you're going to be a rebounder, you must chase the pigskin down. You can't wait for it to fall in your lap.
Williams. Williams has done it all tonight. Block shots, rebound, and coming up with some surprising offense tonight. Matt Grass. You don't want a 6'9" guy handling the ball out front. Harvey comes in for Lou Rowe.
I don't think, well, he wants to get Harper Williams out of there.
Lou went over to the bench. He was going to sit down.
There you take a look at how good Siena can shoot the three. They led the MAC in three-point field goal percentage a year ago, but so far not happening tonight.
Schroeder with the miss. Mike Williams over to Herndon. This is Barbie for three.
Well, I'm sure Mike Dean is really surprised at the way UMass is shooting the three.
Benjamin with the air ball. Barbie with the rebound. And Siena is down by 20. Williams, Rowe with the miss.
You have to wonder about fatigue with Benjamin. He's not a very strong-looking point guard, and the pace of the game is pretty quick. He knows he won't get much relief, and that last shot he took was rather short. You wonder if he may not be getting just a bit winded.
Schroeder trying to make something happen. Got a push off on Jim McCoy.
Jim McCoy went oops upside the head that time.
Last year, Siena was the three-point team. UMass didn't take too many. This year, they've nailed all 4 of their tries. In fact, Siena's unofficial motto is "Be free with the 3." But right now, it's very costly. Siena has missed their last 6 shots. They've gone almost 4 minutes without a field goal. They can't even hit their free throws. We're inside 5 minutes on the campus of the University of Massachusetts Minutemen. And UMass has lived up to their billing, being one of the more talented teams in the Atlantic 10. And right on cue, Will Herndon with a follow-up. Keep in mind, he is only 6'3".
He plays like he's about 6'9", though. He gets up. Not only does he get up, but he's up there in a hurry.
Ross taking it inside. Barbie with the foul.
Nice strong move that time by the freshman. Pretty good catch. And then went inside to draw contact. And Barbie really voicing his choice with his teammates. Probably a little upset that they went for the steal and forced him into a help position.
Some more college scores tonight. The Cal Bears. You've got Jason Kidd, one of the top players in the country, coming into that program. The Trojans. Russ played on the same high school team as Kareemus Bennerman. Ross. They whistling for the foul.
They got either him or Lee Matthews. Both were in the neighborhood.
Siena foul on number 50, Matt Grass.
Well, the Saints forgot all about Scott Drapo at the other end. The freshman down there cherry picking. More basketball coming up. John Saunders will be your host. The Maui Invitational. The Razorbacks, Nolan Richardson against the Golden Gophers in Arizona State, taking on the Rice Owls.
Well, for John Calipari's club, certainly just the way he wanted them to come out. He was a little worried about, with the bright lights of ESPN being here, how his team might react, but they've come out and played extremely well.
Drapo hits both of them. Their biggest lead of the night, 23 points. Maybe Mike Dean was telling us the truth, Mark, when we talked to him and prior to the game, he said, we're not a good basketball team right now. Grass with the miss, and the rebound goes to Anton Brown.
Well, when you're missing shots and you have a few costly turnovers early, and you allow the home team crowd to get in it, it can be a long, long night.
Mike Williams, the freshman. UMass is 5 for 5 from three-point range. Schroeder goes to the hole. They're going to call the foul on Herndon. That's a great matchup between these two. They're both 6'3". They're both well-built. Schroeder bench presses 330. Herndon a physical player as well.
Here, Schroeder just going to put it down on the floor, trying to create something. And Herndon called for blocking. Had he not reached in like that, he may have been in better position just to ride Schroeder to the baseline.
McCoy checks in. Barbie checks out. 12-1 run over the last 4 minutes. Now 12-2 as Schroeder hits the free throw.
That's on top of a 21-5 run. Those are blitzkrieg. Those aren't just runs. It's called storming the opposition.
Schroeder shot nearly 80% from the line last year. He's already missed 2 tonight. Team trails by 25.
Well, the Saints' game plan was to play zone, back off, force the three, shoot the three themselves.
Lee Matthews with a steal. We haven't seen too much of him the last couple of minutes. Middleton. They finally get a friendly roll. Williams. Drapo, the freshman, drawing some contact on Grass. Grass comes up with the rebound. Bennerman loses control of it. Williams loses control of it. Matthews with a follow-up. Drapo got a piece of it, and Mike Dean wants a foul.
I'm not sure he shouldn't have gotten one.
Well, they let him play, and it's been a lot of contact so far, so it's been even on both ends. Kennard Robinson set to check in for UMass. Middleton with the steal. And Middleton completes it.
Well, that was dangerously close to a backcourt violation, but Siena handled the break after making the initial steal pretty well there. They're going to continue to scrap. And in this situation, Siena would hope to get it under 20. That would be somewhat of a boost to their morale going into the locker room at halftime.
Drapo with a follow-up. McCoy misses the Minutemen's first three-pointer of the night. And he's yet to score. But they still lead by 23 and another turnover for the Saints. Mike Dean watching it slip away. Playing without his best three-point shooter in Mike Brown. Had one of the best players in the league graduate. Mark Brown, who's now in the CBA. Two players who are playing in Europe. It was a very talented team last year. They went 25-10. But this year, he said, maybe by the end of the year, will be a good ball club.
Number 33,
as these young players get game experience, and if they grow into their positions and roles, they could very well compete for the upper division in the MAC.
UMass is not only expected to win the Atlantic 10, a lot of people expect them to slip into the top 25 sometime this year, but it's a very, very demanding schedule.
It certainly is.
Will Herndon finally did something wrong tonight, aside from forgetting to wear a belt on those hands.
Well, the shirt has stayed in for the most part.
Brazoulis is going to get called with the push-off. Both of these programs changed their nicknames. Siena a couple of years ago used to be known as the Indians. And of course, there was a little bit of a protest. Some of the Indian groups said, we'd like for you to change it. They did. They changed it to the Saints. They went a year without a nickname, though. In fact, they were called the Fighting Artichokes. But now they're the Saints. As for the Minutemen, they used to be known as the Redmen back in the early 70s. Once again, a protest from some Indian groups. They changed it to the Minutemen.
Well, I'm impressed, Dan. You went deep into the archives to get that information, didn't you? Boy, Brazoulis working real hard inside, trying to lock down both positions.
Middleton. And Lou Rowe with another rebound. He's already got a cheering section. They call it Lou's Row.
Well, that's one of those names the fans love to get into. Lou.
We are slipping inside a minute. First half action has been all UMass. McCoy still looking for his first field goal. Got it.
And that's the first time he's really just caught the ball and shot it. Prior to that, he had taken a bounce or two and gotten himself into some trouble.
Biggest lead of the evening or morning, depending on where you're watching. 25-point advantage. McCoy 1 of 7 from the floor, but his team still leading by 25. Wanting to cut his losses, saying, let's take it into the locker room, guys. Schroeder tried to force something up, didn't get a call. And Lou Rowe with another rebound. That's the end of the first half. It has been all UMass, as in massacre. 47-22. Tom Mees will join you for our halftime festivities coming up right after this.
Need to fight and scrap and hope they can get some three-pointers down and maybe catch UMass relaxing with this lead. Otherwise, they just have to try not to embarrass themselves any further.
UMass coach John Calipari did say something interesting to us. Matthews misses the easy lay-in. Calipari said his team is not a great second-half squad because they get a big lead, They play team ball, and then all of a sudden they say, well, I want to do this, I want to do that. He said, we have struggled, we have blown big leads, right now leading by 25, and not a great omen for the Saints as they missed their first shot. But Stuart Downing.
You know, knowing the personality of Mike Dean and what kind of player he was during his college days, you know this team is going to fight.
Schroeder trying to block Harper Williams. We get whistled for the foul. Mike Dean was a great college player, and he says, I like hard-nosed players. I like guys who have a cocky attitude.
Well, Schroeder certainly doesn't lack for being hard-nosed, as we see Harper Williams just wrestled away from McGee. Schroeder comes in to help and picks up the foul with the body. Here's a guy, though, we really didn't talk about an awful lot at the top. But he's their glue. He's their inside force, although Lou Rowe certainly made an impact in that first half with 7 boards. But Harper Williams is the guy that other coaches have to deal with. They have to figure out how they're going to contain him in the paint. And a lot of times, because they're focused on him, William Herndon slips in and finishes on missed shots.
Tony Barbie with a steal and the finish.
It certainly doesn't look like UMass is going to have any type of letdown. Good anticipation by Barbie.
Schroeder, the nice pass by Bennerman.
Excellent find that time in traffic from out top.
McCoy, the rejection by Downing, and they're going to whistle him with the foul.
Number 22, Stuart Downing. That's his third.
McCoy will shoot 2. Downing's third foul.
You know, one of the problems you have as a player when you're down by a big margin is you try to get it all back in a hurry. And usually that's at the offensive end where you take quick shots, but typically it can be done at the defensive end as well, attempting to make big plays and block shots, and you can end up getting in foul trouble.
Calipari thinks McCoy has a chance to get drafted. He's going to have to be a little bit more consistent in his game.
Consistency is certainly one of the things pro scouts look at. And Jim McCoy is a guy who's basically a driving, slashing type of player that isn't really a polished ball handler. So I would think his ball handling skills would have to improve, and then he would have to shoot for a better percentage, which is basically choosing his shots a little better.
Schroeder. Downing the tough shot. Barbie with the rebound. McCoy trying to create something. Herndon inside the scoop to the hoop.
William, don't do that to me.
Betterman. Will Herndon is only 6'3", folks, and when he goes inside, he has no fear. He put on a dunking exhibition in practice earlier today, and you forget he's 6'3".
Why would you have fear when you can do this? Get up and under, and then the right English to get it cleanly through off the window.
Bennerman can't complete the three-point play. Anton Brown. He has played a steady game tonight, Clark.
Yeah, he got a little bottom bump from Mr. Baggy Short. Will Herndon that freed him up for that shot.
Schroeder yet to get it untracked tonight. Tough shot. Bruce Schroeder, their leading returning scorer. The only player in double figures for the Saints tonight. He's going to call Matthews on the foul to reach in on Harper Williams. A 26-point lead for the Minutemen, their biggest lead of the evening. Andy Grisula set to check in. He replaces Lee Matthews.
They needed a big effort from Matthews, and some early foul trouble has kept him from really being a factor in this.
Barbie for 3. Downing with the rebound. Tried to avoid the charge. Just threw it up for grabs. Barbie, McCoy, Herndon.
Showtime.
It's been a highlight reel for Will Herndon here in the second half.
He's so acrobatic and gets up so high and so quickly. And what's even more impressive is how strong he is while he's in the air. See, a lot of guys, when they leave the floor, aren't strong enough to do things and make plays, but Herndon is certainly not one of those guys. He can finish.
A couple of freshmen check in, Lou Rowe and Mike Williams. Jason McKinney checking in. Herndon with 17 points. He's 6 of 6 from the floor.
Well, shooting percentage in my mind always a function of shot selection, and Herndon has not strayed too far from the colored area. He does it with style, though. He's gotten plenty of style points on his last two.
Fetterman looks fatigued. His shots have been short the last couple of times. Jason McKinney over the back. Beat UMass's ball.
Well, with the way this game has unfolded, certainly would give John Calipari a chance to check out some of his bench players. Mike Williams and Lou Rowe, we talked about at the top, as guys that he had already decided to give key minutes to, but guys like Scott Drapo and possibly even Derek Kellogg might see some action tonight.
Stuart Downing his fourth foul, and the last two have been very questionable, and I realize it's a 28-point lead, but Stuart Downing has played pretty good defense on Jim McCoy tonight.
Well, you can see why Mike Dean likes him so much. He's strong, he's physical, he's got good foot speed. He's going to be a guy that will be able to be a stopper against opposing teams' better offensive players.
That is, if he doesn't decide to play pro baseball, as we mentioned from the outset, drafted by the Reds. McCoy with 5 points now. It took him only 3 years to become the school's all-time leading scorer, which tells you a little bit about their history. It has been a struggling program until Calipari got in here 5 years ago. Schroeder is rejected in the 3-on-2 break. Williams, Parker Williams. The Williams-to-Williams connection almost worked. Schroeder can't hit the three. Lou Rowe with his 8th rebound.
Gotten those 8 rebounds in about 10 minutes of playing time.
Betterman with the foul. He's being asked to shoulder quite a load, taking over for Mark Brown, the school's all-time leading scorer. We have a timeout at the Curry-Hicks cage. UMass fans have reason to celebrate. Their team leads by 29. Will Herndon had to petition the NCAA for another year of eligibility. I think Siena wishes that wouldn't have gone through.
Well, John Calipari couldn't be happier. You look at Herndon's teammates. He's a smart player, stays within himself. He's experienced, he's a veteran. And as we've seen, very creative in the paint.
Barbie with the miss. Williams brings it back out. Siena is not this bad, and UMass is not this good. They're going to be tested down the road. That's Jim McCoy. We'll show you UMass's schedule coming up in a little bit, and you will see they're going to have a tough time breaking into the top 25 this year. Mike Williams with a steal and the hoop.
Well, I still think, even though the point you just made is very well taken and well stated, and that neither one of these teams is as good or as bad as they appear, but I still think UMass is the team to beat in the A-10, although they'll get some competition from Temple. St. Joe's is a much improved team. Duquesne is much improved. West Virginia. And you take a look at their schedule, they're going to face some tough teams down the road. Kentucky down there at Rupp Arena. Xavier. They've got Oklahoma. The Alaska shootout. In the Hall of Fame Classic, they'll have Iowa State. So they'll get a true measure of what they're capable of doing during the course of this season.
Lou Rowe called with a foul as Matthews tried to bring the house down. And Mike Dean wants goaltending. With those Kentucky Wildcats losing earlier tonight on ESPN, I would not want to be going down there and playing down at Rupp Arena.
I tell you what, Pittsburgh is a team that a lot of people pick to be in the bottom half of the Big East Conference, and I'm going to go on record right now. Pittsburgh and Providence will be two surprise teams in the country. They're deep. They've got nice blends of youth and experience. The way they play is tough to play against. Those two teams are going to surprise some people this season.
Betterman challenges Herndon. Herndon didn't even go after it.
I tell you what, I've been impressed with Doremus Betterman. I mean, he hasn't had a great shooting night, but his poise has been admirable. And I talked to him before the game, and he gave me the impression then that he was cool and composed, and he's done nothing in this game to change that impression that I got of him. And as he gets stronger and more confident, this is a guy that's going to be heard from in that MAC conference.
So is this guy, Mike Williams, a talented freshman, and I'm sure Coach Calipari not even sure what to expect out of this kid. He just said he's so exciting. Sometimes I just let him go one-on-one and let him create. He says he's that good and he's only a freshman.
And they really haven't had a penetrating point guard since Calipari has been here. A guy that can break defenses down just by shaking and baking off the dribble. And Mike Williams has that type of speed and ability. Now it's a matter of harnessing that and channeling it to where it's productive.
Williams to miss. Williams follows up. Harper Williams, the tough angle. Short, he got a piece of it. McKinney brings it down. Bennerman with the ball again. Been in his hands most of the night, still trying to create. Barney with the rebound. Williams, Drapo.
More efficiently than that. The ball barely touched the floor and resulted in a layup.
When UMass gets out and gets going, it's been hard to stop them tonight.
You know, you look at the style of both of these teams, and if you're a young player, you know, Mike Dean and John Calipari, two of the more freewheeling young coaches in the country in terms of their style. Very appealing to young players.
Lou Rowe, Anton Brown check in. Calipari's 5th year at UMass. And he said our motto is no excuses this year. He said, this is the year that we have to produce.
You never know how a team that's not had much success will respond to being the favorite as opposed to the up-and-coming underdog. And I'm sure Calipari is a little worried about that. That's why he's so concerned about developing another 2 or 3 solid players behind his solid starting 5.
McCoy came down on his ankle and has signaled Coach Calipari to take him out. Schroeder misses the 3. Can't get the follow-up, and Lou Rowe on the boards again. We got an injury timeout as McCoy looked like he twisted his ankle.
An official timeout has been called. Mike Williams replaces Jim McCoy in the Minutemen lineup. Stuart Downing checking back into the Siena lineup.
Going to get that shoe off and check out the ankle of McCoy. He winced when he came down and signaled over to Coach Calipari to take him out.
Tony Mardi is back in the Minutemen lineup, replacing Scott Drapo.
Williams and McKinney got a piece of it, and Williams wants it back. He wants it back right now. Lou Rowe.
Has Mr. Rowe been impressive or what? They found one of their key guys, and I think Mike Williams is the other. If they can get one more guy from that UMass bench to be a positive contributor, they might reach those lofty expectations.
Barbie for 3. Lou Rowe with 6 points and 9 boards tonight. His first ever college game. McCoy's night, 2 for 9. It looks like his night is over with. Barbie gets whistled for the foul. Actually, they could take their choice inside, either Williams or Barbie. Herndon set to come in, along with Matt Grass for the Saints. Fourth foul on Williams. 68-32. All UMass. Got 11:41 to play.
I can't. No, I'm sorry. I don't think so.
Anton Brown going to go to the line.
Anton Brown will go to the line. Shooting.
Oh, you look at Mike Dean, and he came into this game hoping to establish something fairly early. And when it didn't happen, he told us that he thought it might get a little ugly and messy, and it certainly has.
He said he felt sorry for his kids. He said, if we don't play well, you're on a national audience, I don't want them to be embarrassed. He said, if we lose a game to UMass, okay, we lose a game, but I don't want them to be embarrassed. And right now, he's being embarrassed. His team down by 36 points.
And we talked about it before the game, how the start would be so important. And they didn't get some shots to fall early, turnovers. Compounded that, and UMass was out of sight before we were halfway through the first half.
Bennerman. Jerome Malloy is checked in for the Minutemen.
What you call covering ground with the dribble. One bounce, and he was at the hole.
Stuart Downing, who showed flashes tonight. Will Herndon to Tony Barbie.
And that comes from playing together. That comes from knowing each other. I'll tell you what, Dan, I know Siena is being pounded, but a backcourt of Bennerman and Downing doesn't look too bad. Maybe later on this season, and certainly a year or two from now.
Matt Grass with the turnaround jumper at the other end. Siena has a couple of kids coming over from England. That'll be next year. They could use them tonight. Barbie.
And you know, you talk about the conferences these two schools play in. The Atlantic 10 is an up-and-coming conference. I think it's gotten better each year over the last 3 or 4 years. In the MAC, LaSalle has been strong there. St. Pete, Loyola is a team to be reckoned with this season. Siena, depending on how they develop, could maybe challenge for a top division spot. But clearly the conference strength in favor of the A-10 by a fairly significant gap. And clearly that's being shown here.
Lou Rowe.
Boy, they're going to love this kid here at UMass, especially when he's in Curry Hicks cage where they can bounce that Lou off the ceilings in here.
Rowe has 8 points. Downing answers at the other end with a 3. This is UMass's last year in the cage. They have a new facility being built as we speak. Anton Brown. .77-41, 8.5 to go. Bennerman can't get it to drop. Barbie with the rebound. Jerome Malloy. another freshman. Brown, Herndon, Barbie, Rowe, and Malloy for the Minutemen. College football coming up today. West Virginia against Syracuse. Padre Ismail and the Orangemen ranked 16th in the country. And then it's the #1 Canes visiting Boston College. A few years back when these two met, that was the Doug Flutie pass that won it all. I don't think you'll see it this time around, even if Flutie did play. Barbie's got 13 points, 10 rebounds, playing as usual all-around ball game.
Barbie's gotten better every year, as we said earlier.
This telecast is an exclusive presentation of Host Creative Communications in association with ESPN. Any use, rebroadcast, or other transmission this telecast without the written consent of Host Creative Communications and ESPN is flat out prohibited.
Flat out.
Don't even try it, Clark.
I won't.
Well, we wrote off Jim McCoy, and guess who's back in the lineup? Jim McCoy.
Jim has scored double digits in 52 of his last 53. I don't know if he's there yet. Well, maybe looking to extend that streak.
Bannerman with the miss and McCoy with the rebound. Has the tender ankle, but he's in there. He wants the ball, got the ball now. Scott Drapo. Going to call in for traveling.
An official timeout has been called.
Timeout on the floor. UMass leads at 78-41, 7:35 to play.
UMass Athletics launched in conjunction with Peter Pan Bus Line.
Look at how the plastic cup acts like a boat in the water.
Daryl, you jerk. You're going to get us in trouble for littering.
Ah, big deal. A plastic cup never hurt anything, did it?
Littering always hurts, Daryl.
Flossing!
You kids know that plastic lasts hundreds of years when thrown into the environment?
That stuff lasts that long?
Sure does, Omar. We all have to protect the green and recycle our litter.
You need us to help protect the land and water?
Sure do.
You really that busy?
As a matter of fact, kids, I'm swamped.
Another Sunday night. It's been a tough weekend. Yeah, it's not easy bringing home the bacon.
Especially when you could be the bacon.
So what's on TV? How about some Sunday night NFL on ESPN?
Yeah, let's watch them toss around the old pigskin.
Don't say pigskin.
Sunday night NFL on ESPN. Hey, boys, let's pig out.
America, let's pig out ESPN.
Want some pork rinds?
Oh, Dad, pig out.
It's been quite a turnaround for this program because speckled in those years from 79 through 88, you had seasons like 2-24, 3-24. But John Calipari, the last 3 years, he has been with the Minutemen over 50%, and he is rebuilding the club. He says that this is the year. This is the year we show everybody we're not just a good team, we can be a great basketball team. He even does a little cleaning up there. Handy man, he can do it all.
He's got plenty of energy, that's for sure. I was here at practice last night, and he went through a crisp vocal workout for about an hour and 25 minutes with his troop, and they responded.
Stuart Downing coming alive, the freshman. We haven't seen Bruce Schroeder in a while. This is Malloy. The freshman with the miss are going to call Drapo over the back on Matt Grass.
Minutemen foul on number 50, Scott Drapo.
Well, the Saints, all of them will chalk this one up to experience, especially the young fellas. They'll put this in their notebook, file it away, and then be able to draw on it as they go through the rigors of their first college season.
Jim Ryder sticks a jumper. Calipari yet to call off the Dogs. We're inside 7 minutes. His team up comfortably, and he still has Herndon in there. Jim McCoy.
Well, maybe he's going to give him the day off tomorrow, so he figures he'll exhaust him in the game tonight. I'm sure the players will be looking for that.
Harper Williams checks back in for Will Herndon.
Well, actually, with the new rules to where you're limited in your practice time, I think you almost have to give your players a day off.
Drapo with the follow-up, good if it goes.
Siena foul on number 34, Jason.
UMass, I think, has lived and died with Jim McCoy in the past couple of years. If he is on fire, he's going to carry a club. But tonight, if this was a close ball game, he would be killing his club because he's forcing up the jumpers, and he has not come close to having the normal night that we expect out of him.
Here we take a look. McCoy, pretty good open shot. Well within range, but way off the mark. I mean, that was left of center by about 3 feet. The ankle's bobbing him a bit. And, you know, you shoot with your feet.
Downing. Harper Williams for the rebound. Mike Williams.
My goodness.
Scott Drapo.
He likes to bang bodies. But Scott, you have to make sure you do that when the referees are out of sight somewhat.
He has been described as a Bill Lambier type. What do you think?
That's a cross body block. There's no question about that. And that's a big one. I tell you what, I'm impressed. I'm really impressed with this kid, Deramus Bennerman. He's not shot it well, but he's had good shots. He's got a nice looking shot. He's gone the distance too. I mean, this is a kid that's gone the distance. And then he took a shot like that and got up. Showed a little acting, but I think he took a pretty tough blow from Drapo there.
I think he got hit like Bert Cooper's going to get hit by Vander Holyfield tomorrow night. Although Bert Cooper's not going to get back up.
Smoking Cooper.
Yeah. Harper Williams. He has done nothing wrong tonight.
Oh, he's a very, very solid game.
Bennerman misses the three. Williams. Malloy can't hold on to it. Bennerman. He's got Downing all alone.
That breakaway should be, yes. 2 shots plus the ball.
Mike Williams trying to get back. Couldn't stop Downing. Of all the Saints, I've been impressed by Stuart Downing because I think he was feeling his way around the first half because he's a freshman. Second half, he said, all right, it's getting out of control. Let me see what I can do.
And they're going to be a formidable backcourt, these two, Downing and Bennerman. And you're right, Downing has stepped it up a little bit in the second half. You know, you think about UMass and what they're going to have to face in the A-10. You know, I think their strongest challenge is probably going to come from, I think it's going to come from 2 teams. I think Temple and West Virginia are the 2 teams that will give them a run for the title.
They have never defeated Temple. The tip in by Jerome Malloy off the air ball by McCoy, and McCoy is wincing with the ankle, and I'm still not sure why he's in there, up as comfortably as they are with 5 minutes to play.
Well, you'd have to wonder, maybe he just wanted to play and asked John to leave him in, but he's clearly not.
McCoy with the steal, and he is limping noticeably on the ankle.
Well, it boggles my mind unless he just wanted to get to double figures or maybe just work out the kink in his ankle. I can't begin to understand why he's still out there.
3 of 11 from the floor, but his team hasn't needed him.
So I'm doing my sound check.
Hello, hello, hello. hear this woman's voice.
Crunch that last chord. I'll show you.
She grabbed the guitar. And then she started rocking. No, I mean rocking.
You're pretty good.
Someone that hot deserves something this cold. Suddenly, I remember this was a bud spot.
I like your style.
There is a new gasoline that is clearly advanced. A new gasoline that will give you the highest level of engine cleaning for high performance. A new gasoline formulated to clean fuel injectors and intake valves. Who has this new gasoline? You know. New Phase 4 gasoline from Exxon for cleaner engines and high performance.
I get the cold of Massachusetts. John Saunders gets the sunshine of Maui. The Invitational, Arkansas and Minnesota, Arizona State and Rice coming up Monday night here on ESPN. Welcome back to the cage. Dan Patrick along with Clark Kellogg. We're going to be digging back into Clark's scrapbook pretty soon as this game has been out of hand for most of this half. Now, where were we, Clark? We're talking about your 7th grade. Your 7th grade kid.
Now, I'm just worried about this kid, Derek Kellogg, doing justice to the name. See if he can get open and get himself a jumper.
Lou Rowe got away with a travel, but loses the ball out of bounds.
Oh, I just, Dan, what about this dunking one today? Dan Patrick, folks, ladies and gentlemen, Dan Patrick flushed one during the morning shoot, the afternoon shoot-around, and then we had to carry him out on the stretcher.
That's how desperate we are to fill time. We're talking about my dunking.
I was pretty impressed when you turned it over. It was a little weak. I mean, it didn't have real authority, but it still would have to qualify as a dunk.
Why did you have to wait this long to bring it up? Why didn't we bring that up in the opening minute of the game?
Well, it wasn't relevant at that time. I don't know if it's ever relevant. But it impressed me, Patrick. It really did.
Inside 4 minutes to play. 86-51. Pretty hard to top that. Your comment on my basketball game. What do I follow it up with? In fact, Coach Calipari came out of a meeting to say Dan Patrick's dunking.
Pretty strong move there by McKinney. But in a situation like this, if you're Siena, the clock doesn't move fast enough. If you're UMass players, you're looking to pad the average. And
when Mike Dean came in to the cage tonight, a security guard came up and said, if you need anything tonight, tell me what you need and I'll go get it for you. He said, how about a gun with 3 bullets? I'll use it for McCoy, Herndon, and Barbie. I think Coach needed a 6-shooter tonight, maybe a Gatling gun.
And that's one of the strengths of this team, and John Calipari will be the first to tell you it's their balance. I mean, McCoy, their leading scorer, really struggled tonight, and yet you get a great contribution from Rowe off the bench. Tony Barbie is his solid self.
Derek Kellogg with the ball. No relation to Clark.
Good flash inside by Rowe.
Lou Rowe gets knocked to the floor. Matt Grass with the foul. Rowe gets great position. For a freshman to do that, that's surprising.
This is what you call right now post-up. He just flashed in on Matt Grass, beat him with quickness. You get post-up position with your lower body. You see a lot of young players trying to work free and establish position with their upper body. You get your feet set, and then you establish position with the lower body and hold off your defender. with the forearm of the upper back.
Francois Furman is coming in. He's a walk-on, doesn't get to play that often, and a crowd favorite. There's Francois.
Lou Rowe getting a nice hand as well.
Middleton. That was a bullet.
You couldn't shoot that big ball like that, I tell you that. You couldn't shoot a line drive with the big ball. Well, I wonder if Siena has tried practicing with the big ball. It's double the size of the normal ball, and it's supposed to help you concentrate better on your shooting. And certainly the way Siena has shot it this evening.
Matt Grass. There's Kellogg, the honorable mention All-American in high school, and I think he may be related to you, Clark. Nothing but the bottom of the net.
Well, if he goes in there and gets a rebound and dunks it on somebody,
then I'll know he's not related. Bennerman can't get it to stick. Grass keeps it alive, and here's Kellogg again, and he wants more. Great ball. A couple weeks from tonight. Bidlingmeyer with the foul to reach in. Trying to be a thief against Chris Robinson.
In a foul, number 10, Ryan Bidlingmeyer.
You wonder if these fans are operating on sheer adrenaline or if they've got something else fueling them this morning, rather. I tell you what, the pure excitement of being here on Midnight Madness is enough to keep you going for a while, especially if you're a UMass fan.
They wanted Dick Vitale, though. They kept saying, where is Dick Vitale?
I don't know if Dick would have helped them play any better.
Bidlingmeyer with the miss. Scott Draco with another rebound. Francois Furman nearly banked it in from the corner, which I didn't know that was possible.
Oh, Dan, you know you've done that before. Check this out, Francois! Oh, my, you almost banked that from an impossible angle.
The crowd would have gone crazy if the 6-foot senior walk-on had knocked that one down. Inside a minute to play. Bidlingmeyer. Brazoulis with the save. Chris Robinson tried to go to Kennard Robinson. This team is tough, though. You got Mike Williams and Harper Williams, Chris Robinson and Kennard Robinson. Robinson, Kellogg. Crowd 1-3. They're not going to get their 100 points. They are going to get their victory. Bidlingmeyer and it counts. But it's been academic since the start of the second half as John Calipari and Mike Dean shake hands. Midnight Madness on ESPN. They have not left. They may have to be told it is time to leave the building. The UMass Minutemen chalk up their first victory of the year. Plenty more will follow. For Clark Kellogg, I'm Dan Patrick. Thanks for joining us on another Midnight Madness. We now send it back to Tom Meades. Tom?
All right, Dan. After a gain to the 37, that's 6 more for Walker.
From the state of Tennessee, 10 from Memphis. He went to Memphis State. His assistant, Jimmy Adams, went to Memphis State. Tim Morgan went to Memphis State.
his secretary went to Memphis State, the trainer went to Memphis State. I mean, he's really done a remarkable job of keeping the best players home. Oh, there it is, Larry Finch. One of the great players. I remember him scoring 29 against UCLA in the 73 NCAA tournament.
All-America player back in the early 70s. 10 of his players from the city of Memphis. Remarkable. Amazing. Memphis State by 5. 7.5 minutes to go in the game. And Vaughn and Stephen Howard really going at it inside. The shot is too strong by Billy Smith. Control. Inside, Hardaway does it picked beautifully by Terry Davis.
What a good defensive player Terry Davis is.
Joe Doherty will set it up to the ball. Booth shot no good. He has not shot well in the second half.
Scorers, not a shooter. They don't like to be by themselves. Standing there all alone. They want to be in traffic.
Madlock, no good. And tied up, the possession arrow goes to DePaul.
That amazing players like Booth, when they're all by themselves, I mean, they need someone hanging on them.
It's almost like they turn around expecting somebody to be there. When they're not there, they don't know what to do.
Have to make a drive, have somebody hanging on your arm. Tougher shot sometimes, the one when you're all by yourself.